matter. Patrick Mahomes single-handedly won that game.
Yes, I'll give you that, but not the Tampa Bay game. The Tampa Bay's defense causing fumbles, and the difference in the Tampa Bay game, going back to Tampa Bay, Green Bay, the difference in that game, Tampa Bay turns Green Bay over twice, gets 14 points out of it. Green Bay turns Tampa Bay over 3 times, gets 6 points out of it.
Well, let's look at that pick that Rodgers threw. That's a bad ball.
Oh, it's horrible.
Sorry. Okay, you can't make that. That's one of those. That wasn't a 50-50 ball, or that wasn't one where Mike Evans and Tom Brady weren't on the same page. That was just a bad pick, and then the Bucks turned that over. One, the Green Bay Packers had a chance to score and to close that down. You know, they were only down by 4 at the time. Instead, the Bucks pick it, and then they're up by 11 at halftime. And then you have and then you have that really, really bad fumble by Williams. Man, he was not good yesterday. And that's the difference in the game, and my Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to the Super Bowl.
First time in the history of the league, the home team, the host city, will also be represented in the Super Bowl as the home team, their own locker room. Somebody goes, no, the Los Angeles Rams, and the Rose Bowl, that wasn't their home stadium. That wasn't their home
Correct.
stadium. They used the LA Coliseum. They did not use the Rose Bowl.
Correct.
That's
correct.
But will home field be that big a deal because of how few people will be able to go to the Super Bowl?
Well,
it looks like a ticket that's only going to be affordable to the elite.
Well, here's the thing. They're going to allow 40%. What I read yesterday, that may change, could go up. And guess what? People aren't going to travel. And so you're telling me you couldn't get 30,000, 20,000 Tampa Bay Bucs fans to buy tickets? Trust me, they'll be there.
I don't know what that price.
They'll be there.
I was listening to a news story this morning about the economic impact this game will have on the Central Florida area. And I thought, well, don't you mean, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, don't you mean should have had? Because the Orlando news station that I was watching was talking about the impact of their hotels filling up in Seminole County, out towards Disney and everything. And I'm like, don't you mean should have filled up? Because Tampa can handle the crowd that's going to be allowed to come to this game. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of overflow and a whole lot of, if there is overflow, it won't get past Lakeland, I don't think.
No, Derek Brooks played for the Bucks. He's the honorary something to do with the NFL and the Super Bowl. He's like the liaison to the city. And he reached out and wanted to know if my sons, this was like 3 months ago, wanted to work at the Super Bowl, to work, some of the events and staying around. And my oldest said, nah, I gotta be in school. I don't want to miss it. And Brooks looked at him and goes, well, Tom Brady's playing in it. That's a true story. We were at his daughter's softball game, and he called Tom Brady playing in his own home field Super Bowl way back when, in October.
And he was right.
So, yeah.
What does this do for does this just continue what was already a great legacy, or does this really just make it to where his legacy in my lifetime will be unapproachable?
Well, it's not just, there's no longer, you always had the people who argued that, no, Manning was better, or, they'd go back in time and say, like, Otto Graham was better. The question is now moot, right? It's absolutely moot. You cannot not say that Brady's the greatest of all time. You can't. He beat Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau Field, who many think is the greatest quarterback.
Without Bill Belichick, by the way, so he can shake that off now.
Correct. He's been there without Bill Belichick. He's been there with Bruce Arians. He's been there with arguably his most talented core of wide receivers.
100%.
But if you watch that game, when you have Tom Brady at your quarterback, you never lose confidence. Ask the Falcons at 28-3. 28-3, and he came back. And you know why? That's because everybody on their team said, well, we got TB12.
Why?
We got TB12. We got a chance.
What? You're going to make me shut your mic off.
I'm just saying, 28-3.
Why'd you have to bring that up?
28-3.
You continue to.
It rolls off the tongue.
You continue.
It just rolls off the tongue.
You know what I mean? I don't bring up 52-20 in 1996.
Oh man, here we go.
See, I don't do that to you.
That doesn't hurt me the way like the '86 Mets do. I twitch when I hear about the '86 Mets. I'm not gonna lie.
You know what? No,
that's my soft spot.
Can I just this is gonna tell me a lot about where you are in life. Can we just agree that Bill Buckner booted that ball in '86, but you still had a Game 7 you should have won and you didn't?
Yeah, fine. You know. Yeah, if you want to break down that whole series, I can.
I remember it vividly because I cried. It's the first bet I ever made with my father. The first one, as I was at the time in '86, I was 20 years old. It's the first bet I made with my father, and hey, I lost because I took Boston, and I had to pay up, and it was not a good bet. Let's just say that.
It's not the last time I've cried with the Red Sox, and it wasn't the first time. But I remember my dad and I, we were sitting there. I'm 16, and that's a big deal when you spend any kind of time with your father when you're 16. And Buckner kicks it, and my dad looked at me and he goes, "We're never winning a World Series." He turned off the TV and went to bed. That's the problem with a series like that. Is over the next 24 hours or so, you start to get a little, all right, we can do this. We got Bob Stanley going in Game 7. That was a mistake. And we can win. No. The Mets come out and just destroy us by the third inning of the game.
By the third inning of Game 7, done.
So, yeah. So, it's kind of like the 28-3 game. You guys thought you had a chance. You had dominated the possession. I'm sorry, you hadn't dominated the possession. You really hadn't done much at all. And Tom Brady just couldn't get anything going. And then all of a sudden, Edelman makes that incredible catch, right? And then, you get the former Florida Gator linebacker come through, strip sack, game's over. Game is over at that point.
We have to go to break. We'll be right back after this timeout with Galen Udall from Life South. WOCA would like to thank the partnership with Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, located at 2700 Southwest 34th Street. Palm Gardens offers skilled nursing, physical, occupational, and speech therapy. If you have any questions how Palm Garden is handling the COVID-19 pandemic, please give them a call, 352-854-6262. That's 352-854-6262.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Now you did it. Are you completely insane? He's back. He, who must not be named. The man, the myth. The only guy in Ocala to eat his own weight in fried pickles. Twice. Now, you asked for it. Sorta. Live and in person. It's Tom Schmitz.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks with Tom Schmitz. We're talking with Galen Udall from Life South. He's brought to you every morning by the good folks at Penn Flooring and Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. Go back up to the phone lines. Galen, let me ask you this question real quick. And I saw it over the weekend. I saw it yesterday, last evening, after the Tampa Bay-Green Bay game. And I thought, that's an interesting question. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought, I really don't have an argument against it. And the question, the statement was that Tom Brady is the greatest GOAT of all time. And what they mean by that is Tom Brady is better at being the GOAT in his sport than Serena Williams is in tennis, than Jack Nicklaus or Tiger Woods, depending on how you argue that, is in golf, that Michael Jordan is in basketball, that Wayne Gretzky is in hockey. That he's received such a status now that he's up there just above Jim Thorpe, even the guy said it yesterday. And I thought, that's kind of thought-provoking. The more I thought about it, the more I couldn't really make an argument against it. Can you make an argument for or against Tom Brady being the greatest GOAT of all time?
Wayne Gretzky was the most dominant player, completely changed the way that hockey is played. Also, the fact that it's played in Tampa Bay is because of Wayne Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky is the GOAT of all GOATs. And then second to him is Pele. Because nobody, again, Pele changed the way that soccer is played. So those are the two GOATs. Now, Tom Brady's on the Mount Rushmore of GOATs, right? But Wayne Gretzky and Pele are better right now, are more dominant.
Do you think
now Brady wins the Super Bowl? We can go back, but Wayne Gretzky made hockey cool in L.A. and it's still cool in L.A.
Yeah, but do you think
his daughter? Have you seen his daughter?
Yeah,
Checkmate.
she's
Checkmate.
Yeah, Dustin Johnson did okay.
Yeah,
I'll just say that Dustin Johnson did okay. Let me ask you though. Do you think, now you and I are sports guys, so we follow sports. Yeah. We follow sports. We know a lot about hockey. We know a lot about, I watch a lot of soccer, believe it or not. I'm a big Liverpool Football Club guy. Manet's my guy. I like his little blonde streak and everything. So,
yeah.
But do you think you and I may make the argument for Gretzky, but the average sports person who hockey has never been on their radar goes, what? How could you put a hockey player above a football player? It's football. Hockey's something that just is done in the Northeast and the far north in Canada. Well, except professional hockey. But people go, well, yeah, but professional hockey is just because there's TV rights.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that about any sport that's marginalized. Nobody cares about football in Brazil.
Nobody.
Right? Nobody knows who Tom Brady is in Brazil, probably.
Well, Giselle's from Brazil. I think they probably know who he is.
That's fair. that may be true.
I think they probably know who he is.
For every Federer, you've got an equal. I can't come up with one right now because Federer is the GOAT in tennis.
Is he, or is Serena Williams the GOAT in tennis?
Well, I would say men's. Yeah. No. Yeah. See, when I think of Serena, you think of what Martina did. If Martina didn't have a Chrissy Everett and vice versa. Because there's nobody who's in the same club as Serena. And Serena's also a compiler. She's just done it for so much longer than everybody else.
So much longer. But isn't Tom
Gretzky,
Brady?
I mean,
isn't by that argument, isn't Tom Brady a compiler as well?
It's a fair question. The difference is Brady has been healthy all but 1 year, and he's been to and won a major, the equivalent of a major, in every season that he's been healthy. Serena's been hurt and has gone, time without a major, right? So, Tom Brady has been in the NFC or the conference championship game or the Super Bowl.
She won a major while she was pregnant.
That's true. You couldn't tell me who she beat.
No, of course not.
Because her sister was hurt.
Right.
Right?
No.
And women's tennis is down. And that's okay. I mean, that's going to happen. But, yeah, I mean, again, Gretzky was so good. So good. He was doing things. He had 100 goals in a season. He had 100 assists in a season. That's unheard of. Unheard of.
He was to watch him skate and to watch how he handled the stick and handled that puck. It it was almost like ballet. I got to see him
game,
I got to see him 3 different times. If he was in today's game with the rule changes to where you can hit the ball, you can hit the puck past the blue line and everything. And if you touch somebody, there's no grabbing. He'd score 150 goals in a season.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't like to play that game. You have to dominate your era, and he did.
But just like
it's a fair question, but
if you didn't have hand checking, at all in the NBA like they don't now, what would Jordan have been able to do?
Sure. And again, that's part of the conversation, I guess. It's not a game I like to play.
Jerry Rice, could you imagine Jerry Rice if he had the rules of today in the NFL?
Sure. Absolutely. He'd still be great. But if you look at Pele, the game that is played today is because of Pele.
100%.
So Pele, and same with Gretzky. Gretzky changed the game. You can't say that, the Brady rule and the Tuck rule. I think the NFL changed to protect all quarterbacks, just not Tom Brady. But and he's done a great job himself of keeping himself healthy.
Well, you bring up a very good point, though. Hockey was a thug sport that was a bunch of guerrillas that they would fight all the time. And, if the game was 1-0, then it was, hockey purists thought it was a great game and everything. Right. And Gretzky turned it into, 5-4. 7-3, where they were scoring in hockey. He brought international hockey to me is a different game than the NHL hockey, because international hockey was played at a faster rate, just like international basketball is different than the NBA. But international hockey is fun to watch, and I think Gretzky brought that type of international feel to it and that speed to it. It's such a fast game now. When I remember in the 70s and the 80s, when you would watch a hockey game, you'd go to a hockey game and watch it. Because my dad was from Wisconsin, so he was a hockey guy. And you would go to games and watch it. It was just slow and laboring. And now it's not slow and laboring. It's a fast-paced game. People say, I can't watch it on TV. Go to a hockey game. That's the best. It's amazing when you go to a hockey game.
Fantastic. Well, when before Gretzky, the whole area behind the net was considered no man's land.
Yeah, you
didn't go there.
Yeah, you didn't go back there.
Gretzky just said, I'll stick back here and just pinpoint passing and kill you.
I mean, how many pinpoint passes did he kill you? And then wraparounds when you thought he was going to pass it out.
Yeah, he's the GOAT of hockey, and again, I could argue he's the GOAT of all GOATs.
So now we're set up for the Super Bowl. Kansas City, the defending champs, taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who I thought were a year too early. I thought next year would be the year they'd make the Super Bowl.
But you know what? Me too. But when you watch that game, they now beat the Packers twice. The Buccaneers are a better team than the Green Bay Packers.
That was evident yesterday.
And Tom Brady's a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers.
And
today.
Today,
Tom. Today.
After
not
yesterday's
just career. But today.
After yesterday's performance, I don't think anybody could argue with that. And you know what I thought was one of the biggest things yesterday was a couple different times it started to get a little chippy, and I loved how people on the defense, when it started to get chippy, went and grabbed 93 and said, "You get away from all of this," because 93 is very important to that defense. But as we know, 93, and I'm talking about Ndamukong Suh, for those that don't know who 93 is, he has a tendency, when things get chippy, to get really, really dumb in how he reacts.
But if you look at the maturation of this team, this is what plagued this team last year, is all the stupid penalties, right? The Bucs were penalty-free for a long time. And, and I remember when they cut it down to 5, and I'm like, okay, you're going to get a holding call here because the NFL wants Aaron Rodgers in the Super Bowl. Let's be very clear. The NFL did not want Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. And if you don't believe that, all you have to do is look at the commissioner. The commissioner hates Tom Brady, and he hates the New England Patriots.
But Galen, hold on. If they didn't want Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, how do they make that pass interference call on third down at the end of the game?
How do you not? Look how long it took. I mean, they thought about it. I'm sure the earpiece that they have in their ears were going, don't call it. If you don't call that, they just do it under review. They go under the hood, and you can see he's holding his jersey.
He's got it extended about a foot. He's got it extended about a foot and a half away from the player.
And then, everybody's texting me, oh, that's uncatchable. There's no such thing when you're holding a jersey. In order for it to be uncatchable, it has to not even land in the field of play. Okay, let's say it's not pass interference. It's just holding. All right.
It's still 5 yards, automatic first down, and game over.
And what you have to be talking about right now is if you're a Green Bay Packer, why is it that your coaches just absolutely mind crap when it matters most?
How do you kick a field goal?
All the way back.
How do you kick a field goal when you're down by 8? I don't understand. You're down by 8. You got supposedly the best quarterback in the league. The game's in his hands. How do you kick a field goal there? Because that 3 points does nothing for you. It's still a touchdown game. It does nothing for you except it gives Tom Brady the ball back so he can run the clock out, which, oh, by the way, he did.
Every Bucs fan in America was going, oh, LaFleur, you've done it. You've won the game for us. Now, granted, Devontae Adams has got to catch the ball. He catches the ball, then they go for 2. Now we got to see if Tom Brady can come back and win in OT. Or overtime, or with the ball in his hands. The Falcons know he has the ability to win in a big game in overtime. But again, the coaching. Why is it that coaches just mind cramp? Why? I've never understood that. I'm like, you have to have that. You've got your sheet in front of you. Go for it. And let's say they don't get it. Okay, the Bucs get the ball on the 6-yard line.
Right.
Hold them. You're going to get great field position. Go again.
I agree with you.
I've never understood this.
I agree with you 100%. It was a brain cramp on LaFleur's part, and there's a myriad of choices in that game where you could say that there were brain cramps for Green Bay left and right that cost them that football game. The most glaring to me, 3 turnovers, you got 6 points. Hey, Galen, where is the Blood Mobile today?
Hey, today we're going to be at the Walmart right there on 200, so come by and see us one out, all the way out. So stop by, and as always, we're right there on the boulevard, 1607 East Silver Springs Boulevard. Check us out at lifesouth.org. Donate blood today.
Galen Unoff from Life South. Thanks for joining us, pal. Talk to you tomorrow.
All right, bye, all.
This is WOCA 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, Ocala, Gainesville, and the Villages, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
Mexican authorities say they have found 19 shot and burned bodies in Ciudad Victoria across the Rio Grande from Texas. The bodies were discovered along a dirt road outside Camargo after residents reported a burning vehicle. Authorities found 2 vehicles on fire containing the bodies. A California man was hospitalized following a home invasion robbery on Thursday after fighting off 4 attackers and fatally stabbing one of them. Jedediah Boncutter, 18, of Kelseyville, was identified as a suspect who was fatally stabbed during the incident. He was pronounced dead at a local area hospital. Boncutter and several other suspects who police said they suspected of being Norteo gang members are accused of driving to the Santa Rosa, California home with the intent to rob the victim. A Kissimmee, Florida police officer, Andrew Johnson, was fired last week after an internal investigation. Police Chief Jeffrey Odell made the decision to fire Johnson because his social media posts do not align with their core values. USA Radio News.
Now with orders to stay at home, public health concerns, the reality of illness due to pathogens and viruses. Your health is at an all-time high risk. That's why it's critical to take a proactive approach to boost your immune system. You can with new nanocolloidal silver from Americare. Our patented process with tiny silver particles, 1/100th the size of a red blood cell, allows for maximum body absorption. Americare's nanocolloidal silver effectively disinfects your body internally, attacking pathogens and viruses while supercharging your immune system. Colloidal silver is antibacterial and antiviral. Simply put, it prohibits bacterial respiration, suffocating viral cells, preventing the virus from replicating. And now, due to public health concern, AmeriCare is authorized to offer our lowest and best price ever, around $1 a day, but supplies are limited. Purchase nanocolloidal silver now at immunesupportnow.com. That's immunesupportnow.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Supplies are limited.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hi, this is Becky at Hello Gorgeous Salon. It's time to get that new look started. Let's get rid of those sun-damaged ends and faded out color and get into something rich and vibrant. Humidity is not your hair's friend. It causes your hair to capture moisture and leaves it looking dry and unhealthy. Hello Gorgeous is a certified Brazilian blowout salon. We can tame those locks, leaving your hair healthy and shiny with a Brazilian smoothing treatment. So let us help you make a great first impression. Call us today to set your appointment at Hello Gorgeous. Our number is 352-351-5358. Again, that's 352-351-5358. And don't forget, we also do men and children's cuts too. 351-5358. Hello Gorgeous is conveniently located in the heart of downtown Ocala. So call today and set up your appointment at Hello Gorgeous Salon at 351-5358. That's 351-5358.
Hello, gorgeous.
Oh, hey, Grandpa.
Oh, hey, Grandpa. Hey, Grandpa.
Yes, buddy?
Can you take me fishing this weekend?
I'd love to.
Have you noticed a change in your hearing over the years? Missing the little things in life? Visit Beneficial Hearing in Ocala today. Their expert team of audiologists will make sure you never miss a moment. Call Beneficial Hearing today at 352-629-4418 or visit them online, beneficialhearing.com.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY, only $4.99. Plus, DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers